Okay. Well, I'm honored to be here with peace and love, kindness and compassion. That I believe is what God is. And so I think we are gathered together in that wonderful, peaceful, wonderful, let's say universal, inclusive spirit. And so I'm here, and Barbara Harrell would have been here, but she's ill right now, and I'm hoping that as we think of her, we can send her healing love and thoughts. She is the inventor of this Lambdoma, and I brought it today. There's probably only 200 in the world, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about how it was invented and why. It's very interesting because when you can think of everything in frequencies, whether it be audible sound or light, think of it as a cosmic keyboard. So we have audible frequencies, and that's what the Lambdoma will play. But as you go up in frequencies, you go up into, let's say, microwave, then you have infrared, then you have gamma rays, right? So you have light, and then you come in, you're coming down, and you all know about, ultraviolet, you know about all the different kinds of X-rays, and then you have microwaves, then you have radio waves, and then you'll come down into sound. That's audible, correct? So everything is one cosmic keyboard of frequencies, and I believe we are all emanations of that frequency. As we will envision God in many different religions, it's as God said, or as God uttered. And then life came forth, earth came forth. And God said, let there be light. And so that to me is a frequency. And we are talking about universal laws, and they can be exhibited in mathematical equations. If it's a universal law that's as above, it should be exhibited as below. And so I think what Barbara has done it's very unique. And I'm a sound healer, a mental health counselor, do hypnosis, all kinds of wonderful things. You can see why I wanted to use the Lambdoma for healing. The ancient ones had envisioned something that was called a lambda. And that's like a V. And what it is a multiplication of numbers. So you're multiplying by twos up into like frequencies, or not in frequencies, just in mathematical equations. Pythagoras then devised, and we all know he went to Egypt and became initiated in the Egyptian mystery schools. Pythagoras, the founder of much of our mathematical equations, came up with the Lambdoma, and it is a matrix. And so what you want to envision is a V, almost like a box, and on the right side is everything's a multiplication by twos upward. But on the left side, which the ancient ones had not thought of, is its division. And so in mathematical equations, when you factor this, it almost makes like a torus. And so when she saw Pythagoras' template in mathematical ratios, that's mathematical equations, she had an aha moment, because then she realized that color and sound can be played into that, and now she was able to add frequencies to those ratios. And then she invented a keyboard, and there's only about 200 now in the world, to play mathematical ratios, which has never been done before. So the beauty of this is that everything is keyed. You have the middle part. What she's done is taken this square, cocked it to make it a diamond, so it's easier to play. And you have 4 quadrants. You can take frequencies from 16 hertz, which is just where you start hearing that hertz, all the way up to 20,000 or more, okay? So you're in the audible range, and what this keyboard does is I can plug in and key any frequency, and it will play in all the harmonic and subharmonic frequencies of it, giving it added emphasis so that you're playing universal mathematical law. And I believe science will validate God. So if he speaks in universal equations, this wonderful instrument plays God's code. And what Barbara, I just came from her, and we were talking about the implications of what the Lambdoma does. And it was very interesting, Gopi, because she said if we were able to play these correct frequencies, and they would emit, and people could hear them and feel them, then we would have peace on earth. And so I think it's very apropos that we play the Lambdoma in the church filled with peace that did wonderful things because they dared to. And so I think Barbara Hero dared to take her dream and formulate a reality out of it. And I'm hoping to take that dream and heal people with it. And so I am doing sound research now that's, maybe you can just contemplate some of this. But if you would go back and you can imagine there might have been a universal language when we were all one. And that universal language could be light and sound. And that we would all understand. You wouldn't have the division of all the languages, as we had heard of the story of the Tower of Babel when everything was divisive. So if we can go back to a universal language, which I believe is a universal love and awakening, and it's mathematical ratios and universal laws exhibited here on earth, may it not provide peace, inclusion, love, and compassion. And so what I'd like to do is just show you a little bit about the Lambdoma. I don't have but 5 minutes to speak to you, so I wanted to give you a little bit of what this does, and then I'll play it a little bit.
We have music later on.
Oh, later on, okay. So the Lambdoma will be there, and I can play it, and just so you know, it will be played in any frequency, like the solfeggio frequencies, Fibonacci. I can play it in any frequency, and it'll be keyed to that, but also in almost any instrument. So it'll be the harp, a cello, an oboe, a pan flute, anything that we so choose, even including a sitar. So just let me know, and we'll play it at the end, okay? Change it. And make it a harp.
That's hard.
Can you hear it? What this instrument does is play the fractal notes that are in between, so that you wouldn't normally hear these frequencies. That's what's the beauty of it. So that you're going to hear the whole notes, the half notes, the quarter notes, and the notes in between there. So other instruments can't play those. I want you to hear the subharmonics. They're going to be different to your ear, but it's something that you wouldn't normally in a Western scale on a Western instrument like a piano be able to hear. So these are new frequencies that we're becoming accustomed to that have many different healing attributes to it. gonna show you that you can change it.
How about a violin?
Okay. And then you can play any frequency that you want on that. So someone give me a frequency.
528.
.528 is one of the solfeggio frequencies, and it's been known in some experiments to literally rewrap the DNA. So the tone itself is healing. And so the other aspect of what the Lambdoma done, this is 528. Hear the wave and the particle. Can you start to hear them? And so then what this does are all the multiples on a higher level that are multiplied by 2 on the ascending side will be keyed to those frequencies. And then on the left side of this is the descending. Everything will be a division of 528. So then the entire keyboard, whatever note I play will be a harmonic ratio of 528. So that's the beauty. This is more for healing. So you can play 528. Start to hear can you hear the amplitude, how the wave will come in a wave? So that wave, and we're all frequencies, will generate within inside of you. And so and then just to have something unique, let's see if I can find. This is a sitar. And it can be any frequency. So let's say we want, Tesla told us the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9. If you knew the magnificence, you would understand the nature of the universe, right? So let's say we would like to try the sitar in a frequency of 3, 6, 9, right? So this is your chance to hear that particular frequency in one tone, and then I can play it in multiple tones. But this is 3, 6, 9. And so then if you want to play at any harmonic frequency of it, and so it's those tones that when you're exposed to them by auditory, and I have a vibrasound bed that turns frequencies into a vibration that go inside your body. So then your whole entire body can be saturated in those particular frequencies.
Thank you.